Hey everybody, welcome to Creative Conversations. We have such an all-star cast here really today for our live show. I couldn't be more thrilled. We worked a long time to get this group together, and they're very busy with incredible successful shows like Untitled Beauty, which I'm sure many of you have watched many times right here on Facebook Live. So if you are joining for the first time, if you know who I'm about to introduce, you might want to know that we want you to grab a cocktail, grab a glass of wine, and join us this evening. This is Creative Conversations I like to call 2.0, where we give you more direct contact with the artists and more visual references along the way. At PBA, we listen to, many of you wanted to see, the incredible images that, artists like Nicholas French were showing. And so we hear you and we want to be able to show these things as we go along and ultimately just have really great conversations with the artists. We also at PBA are a bit of I like to say we're like hoarders. We hoard everything we see. We record everything we do. And we keep it on a reference page. And you can source all of that at probeauty.org/NAHA. probeauty.org/NAHA. By the way, that's where everything NAHA is. Entering NAHA, finding out the rules and regulations for NAHA, and seeing NAHA past winners and nominations. So make sure you check that out no matter what. What was it? probeauty.org/NAHA. I'll only say that 100 times more. So I also, just before we bring on these incredible artists, I want to touch on that we have 2 new awards that are just now getting out there. You're just now hearing about. We have an Educator of the Year, and we have a Salon Culture Award, like just awarding incredible salons who are doing incredible things at this time. It's not about pretty furniture anymore. I love those pretty furniture salons, but this is really about getting to the heart and soul of salons and what they're doing. And especially during these times, I know there's some salons you want to nominate. And where might you do that? To find the information, probeauty.org/NAHA. Same with Educator. If you've ever been inspired by an educator, if there's an educator who changed your life, which I'm sure everyone on our show today could testify to, where am I going to go to nominate that person? probeauty.org/NAHA. So without any further ado, our first guest today has been slaying the beauty industry for about 20 years. It's hard to believe. You must have started when you were 5. He's been traveling all over the world, inspiring artists. I remember I saw you. You must have just been starting because I'm a wee bit older. I saw you and I just thought, this kid's going to be a big star. And boy, have you. Am I getting this right? 18 NAHA awards.
Who's counting? I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Not even kidding me, but wait, there's more. He's won his own awards. He's led winning teams. He's been the master stylist of the year. And by the way, folks, you have to be invited to even participate to that. So think about the caliber of people that are doing that. Currently, men's hairstylist of the year, which I obsessed over my hair a little bit. Okay.
On point, though.
He's all, you look like we are Devo. It's a helmet. He's no stranger to the NAHA world, so we're so glad you're here. Also, you have day jobs. NAHA isn't your entire life, although it may look like that. Your day jobs include Chief Artistic Director for Ulta Beauty and Global Creative Director for Lanza Healing Hair Co. Goodness, hair care, not hair co. Please welcome to the show, Ammon Carver. Yay!
Thank you. I think I turned my camera on a little too soon. I think you were supposed to say all that.
Gives me on my
game. Everybody got to see me just blush as you just told all those things about me. So thank you so much for having me on the show.
We're so glad you're here. But wait, there's more. When I said we were really bringing you an action-packed show today, I wasn't kidding. Our next guest, this incredible woman, I feel like she needs no introduction. There are literally people outside of the industry who said she's on the show. They're like, oh my God, Tequila. She's known as a celebrity stylist. And I probably can't mention the celebrities because they're all under contracts, lots of brands. But major celebrity stylist, featured in Vogue magazine, Essence magazine, just about every trade magazine possible. Her salon was, there are trade magazines who choose salons, but Elle magazine chose her salon as one of the top 200 in the country. Go PK. She has been the global artistic director for Mizani, for L'Oreal, and now has a pivotal role with the all-star Ulta Beauty team. So I am so excited to welcome. Go ahead and turn your camera on, you amazing human being. Pequila Riley, welcome.
Hey.
See, that's how an intro is done.
Oh my God, I'm blushing. So I definitely waited to turn my camera on.
You look so good. I'm like,
thank you.
Hair today. We're getting the hair. And our final guest, if you're not blushing, our next guest, I've interviewed him before. He's just at the end of the day, he's just such a good man, a nice person, someone you want to be friends with. International beauty expert, celebrity stylist. We have Fergie in common. We go way back. That's another story. I knew her as Stacy. He's done it all. Hair, skin, brows. Yes, I mean waxing. He's done makeup, you name it, and is now the Senior Vice President of Services and Trend for Ulta Beauty, where he works with his team to set the course for all services at salons. You want to hear how many salons? 1,200 salons. That's how many salons these folks work with. As the artistic director for Matrix, he graced every stage. We all became friends at these shows. He was a spokesperson, television, magazines, and this brand, Curious Brushes, like game changers for blowouts. You're welcome for the plug. I heard my brushes are on the way. Please help me welcome to the show, Nick Stenson.
Hello. Good to see you all. And yes, your brushes are on the way. Don't worry.
I appreciate it. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know you had that. So that's super cool that you.
And I thought we were friends.
I mean, I thought so too. I mean, my blowout would be a little better if I had your brushes. So
yeah.
So first thing, to all your incredible success and all you're doing for our industry, I'd like to raise the glass, and for those of you at home as well, Keela, get in there. Don't be shy. Oh, coffee, it's okay. The rest of us.
No, it's not coffee.
It's a camouflage coffee.
Cheers to you, and cheers to the industry, and cheers for being out there sharing love every single day. And literally, I mean, before we get into team building, tell me about this Unveiling Beauty. I've been on it, but you guys are like CNN for beauty. Like, it's every day. Oh, messaging. My God, it must take a team of 100 people to run it. Somebody want to tell me about Unveiling Beauty?
Sure. This is kind of a brainchild that Ammon and I created, quickly pivoting when COVID happened. And the one thing that we wanted to make sure of was that we figured out a way to stay connected to all our associates, because no one was doing hair. No one was working. We weren't seeing anybody. We weren't traveling. I mean, I know I could speak for really all of us on this live right now that 70% of our life was on the road. And that came to a screeching halt. So we weren't around anybody. We weren't engaging. We weren't connecting. And that's what this industry has been built on. So we quickly wanted to figure out a way that we can stay in touch with our associates and our stylists and inspire them, and at the same time stay connected to the industry, because everything was flooded, especially at that time in March, with so much heaviness that we thought, how could we bring a bright spot to the industry and help people now that they have the opportunity to kind of step back and fill their own cup? How do we really make sure that we're doing that on an ongoing basis? And hence Unveiling Beauty, and it's just kind of taken off from there.
I love it. I love watching it. I love being on it. So congratulations to creating that. So our theme today is teams, because you guys, and we'll get into the creative nut, but I just want to, while we're all fresh, I want to start with this one. because we'll get into, my God, some of the shows you've done with like just the logistics of ramps and ladders and classical musicians.
It's really making me miss doing those, by the way,
Oh
by hearing you talk
my
about
God.
it.
If you only knew. Nick and I are like this. We're like, I have an idea. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. Nick goes, but let's go here. And I'm like, oh my God.
So let's first talk about team and what does being on a team mean to you? I'll give this to you, Evan. Like, what does being on a team mean to you? Because I've seen you on a few teams, right? And so what does being on a team mean to you?
Being on a team for me is all about like collaborating and working together with a group of people towards a common goal. So just making sure that you're aligned with your direction, your passion, and that you're all very clearly working in the same direction.
Yeah.
I think that's the meaning of teamwork, is being able to have a common goal that you share with other people, and that you create an environment where everybody on the team can safely communicate, so that they can navigate their experience and their way through, so that you can get to that goal as a team.
Pakila, when you think about joining a team, because you've got the celebrity clients, you've got the work, you're gorgeous, like what draws you to a team? What says this is the team I'd like to be a part of?
For me, energy is everything. And, certainly it can be intimidating. I had heard of Nick and Ammon and so very aware of all of their accomplishments, as well as Danielle. We have some amazing talent on our team. So that in itself on paper can be, utterly intimidating, but just being around them and understanding that, that they really value the collective of the team. And so that's where I knew that this was a space for me and a team that I wanted to be a part of. And so when you're really in it, it feels like a chain. The chain has those links, and all of them are very important, and so, each of them have to be strong, but together is what actually creates the function, the functionality of it. And so the energy was right, and we all bring so very many different things to the table, but they really meshed well together.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the teams to look at, that the things all of you do. You seem to be everywhere. There wasn't a show you weren't at. I think.
No, it wasn't.
Right? I think
those 3 o'clock in the mornings.
I've seen you. Trust me, my team was, I'll drink to that. Trust me, my team was showing up 5 hours later. I was like, oops. That's how you get hair like that. Okay. So Design Team Pro Team. Nick, take this one. So a lot of people wonder, what's Design Team? What's Pro Team? How do I get on these teams?
Yeah. So the Pro Team was built off of wanting to bring the industry together in a really unique way. When you think of all the manufacturing brands, they all have teams, right? And they're all amazing teams. There's a lot of amazing teams in this industry. And the one thing that I found that I had the opportunity to do at Ulta was really create a team of teams, really. When you think about it, one thing that I loved about Ulta Beauty when I first started was one of our taglines is all things beauty all in one place. And I was like, all things beauty all in one place. Well, we should be all people, brands coming together in one place for all people that are in this industry too. So that was kind of the thought that started to get me around, what if I pulled people that I really love and respect in the industry and bring them together from their different backgrounds that they come. Pakila was with Mizani, and Ammon with Lanza, and me with Matrix, and so on and so forth. And I was like, what if I could create a team that really brought something unique and different to the table, and all came from different backgrounds. And I sat down with, first it was Ammon, and then it was then it was Sonia Dove, and both of them said to me, this is never going to happen. Like, you're never going to be able to pull this off. Like, that just doesn't exist in the industry. It's the Matrix team and the Lanza.
It's like everybody fights.
Team,
yeah.
Right? Living and all the way around. So it's like, it doesn't work that way. And I said, but that's the point. Like, if we're trying to unify the industry and bring it together, Ulta Beauty doesn't compete with anybody, because we just want to bring everybody along for the ride, and we want to lift up brands and people and artists. So if we start at the top with that, then we can create that, inclusiveness all the way down. So it worked, and I was able to create this team of amazing artists. And then from there we said, okay, but wait, we have a lot of amazing artists within our doors that work in our salons every single day.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, when I came to Ulta Beauty, the one thing I said to my leader, Keisha Steelman, is I said, the good news coming here is that although we have a lot of work to do, the reputation is that people just don't know what's going on inside Ulta Beauty. People don't know about the amazing stylists. People don't know about the career opportunities. People don't know we have 20,000 products and 500 different brands, and that we really are about building people's career journey. And you can start your career at Ulta Beauty, and you could retire, and you can have 6 different jobs in the meantime, and really go in all different areas of beauty. And I said, there's a story to be told, so that's going to be a really cool story to tell. Well, in that discovery, we realized that there was so many talented people in our organization already that we needed to lift up and really take along for the ride. And that's where we created the design team. And those are stylists that work in our salons every single day, doing guests that come into our salons every single day. And then we tap them to do photo shoots and events and media opportunities, both local and national. And now it's turned into really a lot of blurred line between the pro team and design team, because there's a lot of times we divide and conquer and go different directions. And we have such a great synergy between those two teams right now that we get to accomplish a lot of cool stuff. And then it just doesn't stop there. We also have an education team, which we have full-time educators as our services district educators. And we have 113 full-time educators that their sole job is to go out and educate our 10,000 stylists across the country every single day. And then one day a week, we want to keep them sharp on their skills, so they work behind the chair taking guests. So it's really like a really wide and deep team all the way across. And that's just talking the creative side. I could talk the business side for another hour, but there's a lot of different avenues to the teams that we have, because we do almost have 1,300 stores, and we have tons of opportunities.
Almost 1,300.
Yeah, we're close to 1,300. That stat you had was old.
Sorry, came in your bio. Just
I and then add international for 2021. That's a whole nother.
Just kidding. See what happens when people give me bad bios, and it wasn't you. 1,300, my God. And I'm global creative director for Living Proof, and how much love we have for Ulta. So just knowing what an incredible organization you are, and the kinds of things you're doing for stylists, and not just saying, okay, well, if you're super talented, but like let us hatch you, right? Like, I know you're eager. I know you're anxious. I know you want to do something good. Ammon, I'll give this one to you. How do you go about as creative director? But I'm imagining, what was it, Sonia, who said this can't work? Like, you bring all these. Let's face it, there might be a little ego there. You bring all these talents into a room. What is the process for creating a collection? Because you guys always get it right. Somebody share it, Ammon. I'll start with you.
I'll start, but only because I really want to make sure that it's easy when you set it up right. Right, it's easy with people that have the right intention, and you invite people whose energy, as Bakila said, is in the right place. And then when you have a leader who sets the tone from the beginning in terms of, and it had to happen, I think, maybe once or twice only, where Nick had to set like course correction. Before I was placed into my role as chief artistic director, Nick was in that role, and I was a pro team member, and there were just, very small but very intentional conversations where Nick was like, this is how we are, there's no tolerance for this is the type of team that we are. And he asked us individually, knowing that was in our hearts anyway, but if any of that stuff kind of bubbled up where egos started to create conflict, then it was a no tolerance policy set up by Nick. So I inherited that energy, to be honest. I'm going to give Nick credit for that part because it made it very easy now for me to sit into a room, and we all know that that's not okay. So ideas are welcome. And talking about the positive and the negative of all ideas is also welcome, because the intention, and everybody knows that we're all working towards the same goal. So to go back to what you said with the process, I'm a firm believer that it can be chaotic if you have you have to have a director for a reason, right? The decision maker. But I don't believe it should be like a dictator, right? Like I don't say, hey guys, this is what we're doing, and I've decided, and now just
the pictures.
Orders, right?
Yeah.
So we have collective conversations that start from lots of different inspiration ideas, and then we go, oh, that's a gem, and before you know it, it kind of starts to land into a place that we all organically got to together, and now all feel a part of. So when the collection is complete, everybody felt like they had a contributing idea, touch, portion, contribution. It wasn't an idea that was handed to them, which I think, quite frankly, I know in my personal experience, just from working on other teams, when it was just like, this is what you're going to do, here's your model, here's what we want you to execute. She's been like, there's been research that's done that she needs to look like this, or her needs to look like this, she needs to be on this angle, and you're just like a puppet. And it's so refreshing now for us to be able to say, ooh, this would be cool, what if we did this, let's try this, and start that process that way. And no idea is a bad idea, right? Everybody's like, let's throw this out there and try to do something that makes a statement, is disruptive, causes commotion. We're all excited about that stuff. So our process gets quite fun. It gets quite fun and quite fun.
What is your creative process? Do you remember this team? Like, okay, so I'm guessing they give you sort of a big picture of something. What is your process from there to contribute to these incredible shoots? Like, what is your process?
Well, just to, I want to jump back to some of what they were sharing. I think that it flows so well because I think there's just a degree of respect. I think we respect each other's artistry. We certainly respect our directors, and they're really good. For me, it's really perfect. I can direct, but I love the way that they direct, in the sense that it's like an art class where you were given, it's like a coloring book. You have that picture, so you have clear boundaries and the guideline. The goal is not to go, color outside of the lines, so to say. So you have very clear context to what we want to create collectively. And then I allow myself to flow within those parameters. And so, I'm a Virgo. I like a balance of things. And so it's actually typically perfect if I'm very clear on what what's the objective, what's the feel, what's the movement. But what they do is give that creative license. They really empower you within those parameters to bring what you bring to the table. And so I think it's really starting with a clear context, which does give me that safety as an artist to be free in the line.
That's so
every now and then I'll peek a piece of hair outside of the lines, but not much.
A little outside. So, and I think, okay, so you're a Virgo. Now we have to do a signs toast. I'm an Aries, Libra moon, Gemini rising. I'm from LA. I know all that.
Okay.
Ammon?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, and
whoa, those Aquarius.
I'm a Taurus.
Taurus. Earthy, I like it.
Everybody should type in their sign. Let us know what your sign is.
Yeah, please. Tell us your sign.
We have a Cancer, Aquarius. Good.
Yeah, let's see if we, we have mostly comments of what's going on. So again, if you have questions, type them in there. I'm trying to see if there's anything I'm missing. It's our first time being live on Facebook as well. So be patient with us as we learn this new system and this new program. And new people. It's amazing. So, Nick, I'm going to give this to you. I mean, I'm going to be honest. When I first thought about like JCPenney in the past, I didn't think the level of work you brought it to competitively. So I think you're a little person in the system who does big things, right? You're a big person in the system. What is it about competitions and getting them to that level? I think a lot of people can learn from this. And you're not, I mean, I feel like a lot of people can learn from this and like maybe they've got a salon and maybe it's not a giant salon or it's not a salon people think can do this. You made JCPenney kick ass and win NAHAs. And now you know, you've done this incredible brand, Ulta. You guys have taken it to all these platforms. And what is it about competition? Is that part of the secret sauce? Is that
I don't know if competition is a part of the secret sauce as much as it is. I think people set their ceilings too low. And I think people allow outside expectations to be reality. Where I'm kind of like get out of my way and let me like go write something and rewrite a playbook. I love rewriting a playbook. I love creating something from scratch. I love a good whiteboard session. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then and Ammon especially can attest to this, when someone says no, that can't happen, or no, that's not gonna work, or I don't think so, I'm like, all right, game on.
Favorite word?
Yeah, I love the word no, because don't tell me no, I'll figure it out. So that to me is what, if anybody who's watching could learn anything from this, is like, you know, make sure that your vision is wide, that your energy is open, because that's the other thing too. I think people are so stuck in their own way that I think you gotta get out of your way and allow yourself to learn and grow and trip and fall and bruise your knees and then get back up and lick your wounds and keep moving. Like, I think that's part of it. And I know that sounds pretty cliche, but it's really, really part of it. I don't believe anybody actually fails in life. I think you have amazing learning opportunities, some bigger than others, but I think really amazing learning opportunities. And what you do with that learning is what helps you get to the next level and the next point. So competition is part of that, right? And putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and doing something that you've never done before. I think that's personally why, I'm going to speak for myself, why I enter NAHA every single year, is because it's, you know, I love the accolades and I love getting nominated, and I still want to win on my own, by the way, just a plug there. But what it does for me solely, I thought I'd throw that in there. No, but what it does for me solely as an artist is it challenges me to get out of my way and get out of my comfort zone and do something I haven't done before. And if I'm doing something that feels like I've done it before, then shame on me, because you're not really pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And that's what a competition is really all about. And at the end of the day, we want to get recognized and you want to get nominated and win. But if you really feel like you pushed yourself to do something you've never done before, you should be proud of that. And that is a win in itself. So that's kind of the way I think about it.
So let's look at some things. You know, I'm going to talk about the paint with you. I'll be with you in a minute. And you sent us some images earlier, and also Pequila, I think if you turn your camera off and back on, we can see your beautiful face live. We've been stuck on the same image on my end for a little while. So
did I fall off the camera?
Yeah, maybe turn off camera and then turn it back on, and I think we'll see you more interactive. Ammon, let's talk about, and if it's still stuck on an image for me, but let's put up what you chose as one of your favorites. I'm obsessed with the androgyny here. Talk to us about this collection, Ammon.
Well, so this is last year's winning collection for Men's Hairstylist of the Year. I have been doing men's hair for a long time. I remember I was really, really, really surprised to win this award, and I mean that in the most, because I have so many mentors. There's so many amazing men's hair cutters. And I had, at the time, I owned a salon in New York City, and I had two of whom I consider some of the top barbers, men's hair cutters in the country working in my salon. And here I am doing this entry. And although I'm very proud of the way that they turned out, so I'm not trying to be deprecating about my work. I also don't feel like the title of Men's Hairstylist of the Year was I'm like, these guys, they're teaching me every single day. And so, it's nice because it elevated my work to be working with them. It inspired me to do things that were normally outside of my comfort zone when it comes to cutting men's hair. Just to be surrounded by guys, people that were just really slaying it and just taking it to a different level. And so I really tried my best on this collection to push it just a little bit, and make sure that not only the skill was shown in terms of barbering, but also hairstyling and take it to a range that was unique and fun. And I'm so grateful and honored that I was named Men's Hairstylist of the Year. But honestly, I feel I want to say I'm so not worthy. There's so many amazing men's hairdressers out there that I was just stoked to be in the finals and to take the trophy it's so just awesome. It's awesome.
Well, one thing I want to compliment is I love as I flip through, it's obviously beautiful work. I feel like it's this whole movement, just like when we changed men's hair cutting to short haircut as a salon pricing kind of thing. I feel like your collection, especially with this image, push the envelope in two ways. One, in that, is it just about men, or is it about the length of hair and the type of cutting you're doing? And is there styling that happens with men's hair? Does it just have to be a fade to happen? And I think this image symbolizes that so beautifully. So well done, incredible. I'm going to jump back to you, to Nick, because I'm still seeing Pakila frozen, and I'm scared to ask for images.
Oh, I can try it again. I don't know.
Hey, Michael, Shaun, it's Leslie. So her camera's fine on our end, so it might be something with your connection. So she's great, so don't have to worry about it. Yep.
I just can't see her.
Okay, I'm back.
So just check the year of the collection you want me to talk about, Pakila, and I will get that up. Let's talk about this one. the greatest story about how, the hair's great. Now let's get some paint. Talk to us about this.
Yeah, I love energy in a photo. I love excitement. I love the unexpected. I love taking creativity to another level. And I'm going to be very vulnerable and honest with you about this. We spent so much time working on the composition, the texture of the paint, the colors of the paint, the way we threw the paint, that I didn't spend a lot of time on the hair. So the hair was okay, but the hair was, when the collection was done, I was like, oh my God, the paint looks incredible, but the hair is just okay. It's not that amazing. So this is a good example, for people watching, it is about the total composition. One can't live without the other. So this example perfectly, her paint splatter couldn't be more perfectly timed in this shot. But the hair is just kind of wah wah. So you have to really think about it when you're creating a collection or you're creating an image. You have to think about the total composition. What is the hair, the lighting, the makeup, the model, the paint, or the wardrobe? Everything has to come together cohesively. This one I like better. But you really have to have a total story. So this one I walked away with saying it was the most fun shoot of my career. Even the models had such a blast. The outtake videos I'll put up on Instagram again so you guys could see are just amazing and hysterical and awesome. But I wish I could go back and do the hair differently now. You know what I mean? And I think using this paint but different hair, it would be a landslide. It would be amazing.
I'm sorry, but I did a movie once, not as an actor, but doing the hair, where she had to walk out into the rain and say her final and she kept forgetting her lines, and she had these beautiful waves in her hair. The once they got wet,
It's over.
back to the trailer, right? So, how did this work? How do you throw a bucket?
Very carefully.
Very, very carefully.
You got one shot at throwing a bucket of orange at her.
Well, and the funny part is, Ammon is on the left, I'm on the right, and we each have buckets, and we're throwing from each side to her.
Yeah.
So that's what you're seeing it bounce off her body. So we had to do a lot of like, from like the chest down to get used to the, okay, wait, no, you're throwing too hard and you're throwing too soft. No, 1, 2, 3. No,
Yeah.
on 3, not 1, 2. Like, like we had to like get all that ironed out and then go for it. Because once it hit her face, the hair is done.
Done. Put
Done.
work in it. There is no after photo to this, right? Like,
That's the holy grail. That's like the, oh my God, stop. No more images. Because we have to wash her whole body, her hair, redo her makeup, and everything all over again.
this is hands down the bravest shoot I've ever seen in my life, and I thank you for it. I think it's stuff like this that makes NAHA what it is today. We're not just another photo competition. We are the Oscars of hair, and this proves it. This is Fellini meets Tarantino meets every
Tarantino.
and
Totally Tarantino.
taken, right?
Yeah.
It's either really going to work or really not going to work. Tequila, do we have some images of some of the competitions that you participated in? Oh my God, I love this. Talk to us about this shoot, because I think that's what's most fun.
I'm gonna let Nick and Ammon actually talk on this shoot. I actually was not on this shoot.
So,
Yeah.
Michael, I will tell you this. So I sent these over because these are the winning collection that we won as the pro team.
Okay.
Which was just before Tequila came on board.
Okay.
Literally right before.
Yeah. So just before. I sent over some images of her working on some of the stuff that unfortunately you guys didn't put into the finals last year. So, it's a little harder.
You have them. Don't worry. Someone will put those in.
But yeah, there's a lot of stories behind this one. So I don't know if I don't want to take it completely because I know you directed it to Tequila or Dick, but I can talk to it a little. Or
we're all amazed, and the team is looking in the background for other work. But talk to me about this collection, because what I love about it is the wardrobe is gorgeous, but you made a definite decision to abstract that, to pull the focus back to the hair. Is that correct? Tell me about this collection.
This one was fun to do, and I think this is probably, if you were to ask me one of my favorite moments that we've had as a pro team, I think this would be up there, because this shoot was shot backstage while we were creating hair for a show for NAHA, and it was Nick and I were like,
Really?
Nick wants to do more. He's like, we can do this and capture this and do a photo shoot at the same time as we're getting ready for a show. And I'm like, So here we are getting ready to do a show, and it's our debut, kind of like Ulta's debut moment on stage at NAHA, and we want it to be everything, and we've got cameras and our photographer is capturing it, and we're looking at these images, and Nick is like, look at these pictures, like we have to enter these in the next year. So for us, it was really amazing because these were the models that walked on the stage as sort of like our debut moment, and then we were able to enter that collection that we shot backstage and won with that collection the following year as a team. So it literally happened at NAHA, and it's quite special because of that. The only thing I'll say before I pass to anybody else is because you mentioned the wardrobe. We were kind of initially inspired by the wardrobe, and so that's what kind of started to dictate this idea of you can see a lot of the lines and the threads and this idea of kind of architecture, and we decided to think about the idea of suspension, right? And the way bridges create suspension, and that became the common thread, but we didn't want the drama of the wardrobe to steal away from it being a hair focused shoot. So that was kind of our big thing that we would always kind of remind each other is like, if the first thing they notice is the cool clothing and not the cool hair, then we haven't done our job as a hair photo shoot. And the hair needs to sing first, is what we say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's stunning and great work. And Tequila, since we don't have the images up for you, this is me officially inviting you back for another interview on Creative Conversations, because I know you're a massive to this team. So between me having a frozen face for you, the frozen face for you, but we know you're on the team. And what I want to do now, as we close out the show, and by the way, you guys have been like so fun and such good troopers, as I say the most random things as I usually do. What I would like to do now is to end with just fun, fast questions. If you weren't a hairdresser, each of you quickly, what do you think you would have been? Let's start with you, Ammon.
Oh, for sure, I was going to be a horse trainer. I thought for sure I was gonna train show horses. Yep.
Oh, I love that.
The whole story there, yeah. But I grew up riding and training horses, loved it. I thought for sure that's what I was going to be doing. Ironically, the way that I paid for being able to do that, because it's not a very cheap hobby for a kid, who grows up with 6 siblings. So I learned to groom the horses for the shows. So doing clipper fades, braiding tails, doing that kind of stuff with hair, which is really ironic because I had no intention of being part of the beauty industry. But I did get a little bit of like beauty experience in the horse training world, which is where I thought I would end up.
I mean, that's amazing. My mom, who is watching, raises Arabians, so you just became her favorite person in the world.
That's what Arabian, half Arabians. That's what I used to show.
They're sassy. Let me just tell you that. What would you be if not a stylist?
I would definitely be a nurse, definitely in medicine. I actually started in nursing prior to hair. Yeah.
Hey,
I actually started cosmetology and hair. One would consider late.
Okay. So you'd be a hero either way.
Yeah.
Nick?
Yeah, I have to go with tequila medicine.
Really?
Yeah, because before hair, my goal was to be an orthopedic surgeon. That was like that's where I thought I was going. That never happened, obviously. But if I had to do it again, and hair was not an option and the beauty industry was not an option, it would be a plastic surgeon. So still in beauty.
Can I be your favorite client?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got these fun little final questions. And folks, if you have any last minute questions you want to put in there, lots of comments of people really loving the conversation. And thank you guys for that. Remember, this will be available from now until the end of time, because we at PBA hoard everything at probeauty.org/. What we've done, and I hope I got these right. I'll start with you, Nick. It was if you got to create it's a fun, silly question. If you got to create your own crayon, what would that color be, and what would you call it? What would the name of that crayon be?
Luxury.
Luxury. And what would the color look like?
Just whatever your imagination could take you to, whatever luxury looks like in your mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It would literally change for each person. So whatever luxurious color comes to mind, that's what it would do.
Nick, you're brilliant. You just created the mood crayon.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Ammon, if you got to create your own flavor of ice cream, what would it be? And what would you call it?
Well, I'm going to steal one that actually exists just because I think it's kind of fitting. I'm gonna go with Rocky Road.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because I find it's obviously like sweet and satisfying. Hopefully like like most ice creams, but like it's a little bit up and down, which I can be, and I admit it, and I own it, and I just know that's part of who I am. And those that know me love that about me, and probably hate that about me simultaneously. And so I'm just gonna go with it and own it. I'm a rocky road.
Rocky road. I love it. Rocky road, those horses. We have to change it a little. Rocky road, the horses. Tie it all together. Tequila, you get to create your own city. What would it be, and what would you name it?
Euphoria.
Where would it be?
Euphoria. And where would it be?
Ooh, I like that. Any reason it would be? Something more tropical or cooler? Or?
It would definitely be tropical. Yeah, definitely tropical. The city of Euphoria.
It sounds amazing.
It is amazing. I see it all.
So I want to thank everybody for watching here today and helping us as we navigate through this new system that I think is going to become incredible. This is Creative Conversations, our 2.0 version. I thank all of you. Nick, I'd like to give you a few moments to just close out the day, since you're so good at giving us our words of wisdom and love to the industry. Any final thoughts from the old?
Thank you. I would say, listen, this industry was built on love and passion, and NAHA is built on love and passion. And that's why we all do this, and that's why we all put ourselves out there, and we're all vulnerable. But thankfully, we can all come together and learn from each other. And if you're watching and you're thinking about, I don't know if I'm the person to enter NAHA, then the answer is yes, because it's for everyone. It's to grow everyone. It's to challenge everyone. And it's also to foster new relationships. My favorite time is when we get together and come to the NAHA show and get together as an industry and support each other. So I can't wait till COVID's over so we can do that.
That's funny.
But in the meantime, continue to challenge yourself, continue to be inspired, continue to fill your cup back up. And just when you think you can't do it, you can.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is the most all-star cast we've ever had. And I thank you all for being here. We have some incredible people coming. Vivian McKender, Sam Villa. The list goes on and on. Why? Because so many people feel the same love for NAHA. We look forward to seeing you soon. I look forward to drinking with the three of you soon.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being a part of Creative Conversations. Love you all so much, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Remember, everything probeauty.org/NAHA.
Uh-huh.
Bye.